First contact gone wrong. The crystalline spires of New Geneva gleamed under Earth's autumn sun as Ambassador Sarah Chen straightened her uniform one final time. The first official meeting with the Kraxan Empire's delegation was minutes away, and humanity's future might hinge on what happened in the next few hours. No one had expected first contact to come in the form of a massive warfleet dropping out of faster-than-light travel at the edge of the solar system. The ships had maintained position, broadcasting a single message in perfectly synthesized English. "We come to evaluate." 3 months of careful communication had led to this moment. The Kraxans, a species of silicon-based crystalline beings, had been watching humanity for decades. Their society valued order, predictability, and absolute control. To them, humanity's chaos was both fascinating and terrifying. "Ambassador, they're arriving," her aide whispered, tablet in hand showing the descent of the Kraxan shuttle through Earth's atmosphere. The Kraxan delegation emerged from their shuttle like walking geometric sculptures, their crystalline bodies refracting sunlight in complex patterns. Their leader, Supreme Evaluator Zixtal, towered 3 meters tall, faceted surfaces shifting with every movement. "We observe your species with great interest," Zixtal's translated voice echoed through the chamber. "Your unpredictability is concerning." Chen maintained her diplomatic smile. "Unpredictability drives innovation. Supreme Evaluator, our diversity and creativity have helped us overcome countless challenges." "Yes, we have witnessed your creativity." The word seemed to cause Zixtal physical discomfort. "You create weapons from tools of peace. You turn entertainment into training simulations. Every human child possesses the potential to reshape their environment in ways we cannot predict or control." "That's the beauty of human nature," Chen responded. "We adapt, we grow, we—" "You are a virus," Zixtal interrupted, crystal fragments bristling. "Each human is capable of infinite variations of thought and action. You replicate, spread, modify everything you touch. The Kraxan Empire cannot allow such chaos to exist uncontrolled in the galaxy." The temperature in the room seemed to drop several degrees. "Supreme Evaluator, surely we can. We had hoped to find you reasonable, capable of accepting direction and control. Instead, we find a species that celebrates its own dangerous nature." Zixtal's crystalline form pulsed with deep red light. "The Kraxan Empire hereby declares humanity a threat to galactic stability. You have 2 standard cycles to surrender and accept behavioral modification, or face extinction." As the Kraxan delegation departed, Chen's aide whispered, "What do we do now?" Chen watched the shuttle ascend, her expression hardening. "We show them exactly how creative humans can be when backed into a corner. Send word to the Security Council. If they want war, they'll get their war." Within hours, humanity's response echoed across every communication channel. "Your ultimatum is rejected. Your threat is noted. Your education begins now." The first shots were fired 3 days later, when a Kraxan scout ship attempted to establish orbit around Mars. It encountered something the Kraxans had never seen before, a defense system that seemed to adapt and evolve with each exchange of fire. By the time reinforcements arrived, the scout ship was floating debris, and humanity's message was clear. The war had begun. The silent revolution. Deep beneath the Rocky Mountains, in a facility that officially didn't exist, Dr. Maya Patel watched her life's work come to fruition. The Quantum Response Network, or QRN, represented humanity's greatest scientific achievement and their best hope for survival. "Integration test complete," her AI assistant reported. "The network is achieving 99.99% synchronization across all nodes." Maya allowed herself a small smile. The QRN wasn't just a defense system. It was humanity's answer to the Kraxans' rigid crystalline thinking. While they relied on predetermined responses and fixed strategies, the QRN learned, adapted, and evolved in real time. "Dr. Patel," General Sarah Hayes' voice came from the doorway. The Kraxans have begun their advance through the Kuiper Belt. We need the system online. It's ready, Maya replied, her fingers dancing across the holographic interface. But remember, this isn't just a weapon. The QRN is an extension of human consciousness itself. It doesn't just fight, it creates. The network proved its worth within hours. As the first wave of Kraxan ships approached Neptune, they encountered what appeared to be standard human defense platforms. But these platforms didn't behave like any weapon system they'd encountered before. Each engagement taught the QRN more about Kraxan tactics and technology. It developed countermeasures not just based on past encounters, but on predicted future strategies. The platforms seemed to anticipate attacks before they happened, adapting their defensive patterns in ways that left the Kraxan tactical computers struggling to compute possible responses. But the true revolution wasn't happening in space. Throughout Earth's cities, factories, and research centers, humanity was undergoing a transformation. The threat of extinction had unified Earth's nations like never before. Former enemies shared resources and technology. Corporate competitors became collaborators. The entire human race was evolving, not through biological change, but through an unprecedented fusion of technology and human intuition. They thought we'd break, General Hayes observed, watching the tactical display as another Kraxan assault faltered against humanity's evolving defenses. They don't understand that humans don't just survive under pressure. We thrive on it. Maya nodded, monitoring the QRN's learning patterns. They see our creativity as a flaw, our adaptability as a threat. They never considered that these traits are our greatest weapons. The Kraxans' first major offensive ended in confusion. Their perfectly ordered battle formations encountered defenses that seemed to operate on principles they couldn't comprehend. Each time they adapted their tactics, they found the humans had already moved on to something new. But this was just the beginning. In labs and workshops across the planet, humans were doing what they did best, imagining new possibilities and making them real. The silent revolution wasn't just about survival. It was about proving that humanity's greatest strength lay in its infinite capacity for change. Breaking point. The Proxima Centauri system blazed with weapons fire as Commander Jack Martinez watched his unorthodox plan unfold. His fleet of seemingly disordered ships had drawn the Kraxans into what they thought was a perfect trap. Like always, the crystalline aliens had failed to understand that chaos could have purpose. All ships, execute Protocol Firefly, he ordered, watching as his vessels suddenly cut power, appearing dead in space. The Kraxans, unable to resist such an obvious target, moved in for the kill. That's when the QRN-enhanced ships revealed their true nature. What appeared to be damaged vessels were actually cocoons of metamorphosis. As the Kraxan fleet approached, Martinez's ships underwent a transformation that defied conventional physics. Solar sails unfurled like butterfly wings, absorbing Proxima's intense radiation and channeling it into weapons never before seen in combat. "They still think in straight lines," Martins muttered, watching the Kraxan fleet's rigid formation. "They never look up or down in the chaos." The battle that followed would be studied for generations. Human ships moved in patterns that seemed random but were actually guided by complex algorithms derived from natural phenomena. The murmuration of starlings, the spread of forest fires, the growth patterns of crystal formations. The Kraxans found themselves fighting an enemy that seemed to be everywhere and nowhere, their perfect formations shattered by attacks that came from impossible angles. But the true breaking point came when the Kraxans realized their own technology was being turned against them. The QRN had learned to emit frequencies that resonated with their crystalline bodies, creating confusion and discord in their normally perfect communication networks. As the battle reached its climax, Martinez sent a message to the Kraxan commander. "Your mistake was thinking that order is strength. You've never understood that chaos is just a pattern you haven't learned to recognize yet." The Proxima Centauri victory marked more than just a military success. It represented the moment when humanity proved that their flaws were actually evolutionary advantages. The Kraxans had never lost a major battle in their 1,000-year history. Now they faced an enemy that turned unpredictability into an art form. The tables turn. In the aftermath of Proxima Centauri, humanity's counter-offensive began in earnest. The war entered a phase that the Craxans had never contemplated, one where the very rules of engagement seemed to shift with each passing day. Dr. Maya Patel's QRN had evolved beyond its original parameters, becoming a symbiotic network that linked human intuition with artificial intelligence in ways that even she hadn't predicted. But it was the human element that truly terrified the Craxans. The Biomechanical Enhancement Division, led by Dr. Marcus Wong, had developed interfaces that allowed human pilots to merge their consciousness with their ships. These hybrid warriors fought with both machine precision and human creativity, creating battle strategies that seemed to defy logic itself. The beauty of it, Dr. Wong explained to the United Earth Council, is that each pilot maintains their individuality. The Craxans expected uniformity in enhancement. Instead, we gave our pilots the tools to express their unique fighting styles through technology. The psychological impact on the Craxan Empire was devastating. Their society, built on principles of absolute order and predictability, couldn't cope with an enemy that seemed to become more chaotic and effective with each engagement. Their military doctrine, unchanged for centuries, crumbled in the face of human adaptability. Ambassador Chen, now serving as Earth's strategic director, implemented what she called the Chaos Protocol. Human ships would appear randomly throughout Craxan space, not to attack, but to demonstrate unpredictable behavior that defied analysis. Some would create beautiful light shows, others would rearrange debris into abstract art, and some would simply dance through space in mathematically impossible patterns. "We're not just fighting their ships," Chen explained. "We're fighting their entire worldview. Every time we do something they can't categorize or predict, we crack their crystalline certainty a little more." The Craxan Empire began to fracture from within. Younger crystals, exposed to human unpredictability, began to question the rigid structures of their society. Some even defected, seeking to understand the strange creativity that humans wielded like a force of nature. Victory has many faces. The final battle should have been apocalyptic. The combined fleets of humanity, led by Commander Martinez and his quantum-enhanced ships, had pushed deep into Craxan space. Their homeworld, a crystalline planet that shimmered like a diamond in space, lay before them. But Sarah Chen had one more card to play. Instead of attacking, the human fleet arranged itself in a complex geometric pattern that the Craxans would understand, a fractal design that spoke of both order and infinite variation. Then, they'd broadcast a message that would change the course of galactic history. "We could destroy you," Chen's voice echoed across space. "Our ships could shatter your world into cosmic dust. But that would prove us to be exactly what you feared, a force of pure chaos and destruction. Instead, we offer you a gift, the understanding that true strength lies not in perfect order or pure chaos, but in the balance between them." The QRN projected a massive holographic display visible from the planet's surface, a real-time visualization of human thoughts and creativity, showing how seemingly chaotic processes could create beautiful, ordered patterns. It was an artwork of consciousness itself, demonstrating that humanity's unpredictability wasn't a flaw, but a different form of perfection. The response came not from the Craxan military command, but from a coalition of younger crystals who had been forever changed by their exposure to human creativity. They requested not surrender, but dialogue, a chance to learn from the species they had once sought to destroy. In the years that followed, humanity and the Craxans formed an unlikely partnership. Human creativity and Craxan precision together achieved things neither species could have managed alone. The galaxy watched in amazement as these former enemies built wonders that combined the best of order and chaos. Dr. Maya Patel, speaking at the dedication of the first Human Craxan Research Institute, summed it up best. "They wanted war, and we showed them war. But more importantly, we showed them that the thing they feared most about us, our infinite capacity for change and creativity. was exactly what they needed to evolve. Sometimes the greatest victory isn't in destroying your enemy, but in helping them become something more than they ever imagined possible. The stars above Earth and Craxon Prime now shine on a galaxy where chaos and order dance together in endless possibility, a testament to the day humanity proved that their greatest perceived weakness was, in fact, their greatest strength.